All right, this is the Big Douglas Show. Reverend Big Pooh is with me again today. Big fella, what's happening?
Not much, man. Just wondering why my camera don't look as clear as yours. That's all. It's
Technology.
yeah, my
Technology.
my my 1080p clarity is a little befuddling right now, but we go rock with it.
Well, you sound great.
At least I got that right. I should be able to get that right. That's what I do for a living. So
Hey, Pooh, I saw this today, made me think of you. Uh, Question was asked, would you rather eat the same food every day or never eat the same food twice?
never eat the same food twice.
Never, you could do that. You don't have one that you just like you couldn't have shrimp today and you'd never miss it if you didn't eat it again, or
I mean, I'm gonna miss it, but I can't eat the same thing every day. Like I'm that just not gonna work for me. Like I like too many different things, and just if it's like, okay, I'm eating chicken like fried chicken every day. It's like for 2 days it'll be awesome, and then that third day I'm ready to jump out of a window. So
what
yeah,
if there was something that would could sway you to do it, what would be the one food that you think you'd come close to?
that's interesting. Fried chicken.
Fried
Like,
chicken?
fried chicken. What about you? You same thing or
I was thinking about this. No, I'd have to eat something different every day. I'm like you. I'm a quasi adventurous eater. I mean, I'm not going to stop by the side of the road and eat raccoon tomorrow, but I like eating lots of different things and trying new things. I think I maybe if you went like pizza or burrito route, I could eat the same every day because you could switch the toppings up. I don't know if that's cheating or not.
oh well, if you can do that, then I can do a burrito bowl every day.
A
I could
bowl,
do I could do a bowl, not an actual burrito, but a burrito bowl.
right?
Um,
Okay.
yeah,
Why the
pizza.
bowl?
Uh, I think the bowl allows. Well, first, I feel like I'm getting more. That's one. I'm a fat ass, so that's that. But it's I don't know. I just never really liked burritos. Like it just never really appealed to me. But the stuff in the burrito, I love. I just don't like the burrito.
Right. Okay.
So, yeah. So I can do a burrito bowl if I can switch the toppings. Like, um, that's just with a protein, rice, maybe some corn, some
Lettuce, little,
fajitas.
little shredded lettuce and tomato. No.
I do some pico de gallo. You keep the lettuce. Um, some medium or hot salsa, depending on what day of the week it is. But yeah, I could do that. I could eat that.
I was thinking about this while I was thinking about the question. You know what else I hate? I love a good hamburger, but I hate it when they load the hamburger up with so much stuff that you end up wearing it. I don't want to wear my food as I'm eating it. 20 ingredients on a hamburger that's 5 inches thick or 6 inches is not what I'm excited about. I hate that, which I refuse to go to Red Robin because I eat half of the burger every time we go there.
That's I used to hate Fuddruckers because the bread was thicker than the burger. But I actually had a burger earlier this week, I believe it was, for the first time in like 4 years, maybe.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, I didn't like it. Like,
Did not like it.
no, I prefer like the Impossible Burger or whatever. I think I just got accustomed to that, but
Yeah.
because I didn't eat beef for like 3 years, and then I ate it this year or the end of last year. I ate a steak, like a piece of steak. So I've had a piece of steak every now and again, but I just say, yo, I'm just feeling like a big juicy burger today, and I had it, and I was just so underwhelmed. Um,
It's funny you say that, Pooh, because I quit meat for like 2 years.
so did I.
And then like maybe 3 months ago, we ordered a pizza with peppers on it.
Mm,
And it was late at night, and they sent a pizza with pepperoni on it.
mm.
And I was hungry.
So
And,
you ate it.
and there was nothing else around. Yeah, the shop had already closed up, and so we ate it. And so then at that point, the only thing I missed about meat, really, I'm a huge hot dog guy. Like I love
But
a good Nathan's hot dog.
I
And so then I cheated. I was like, well, I already cheated on this pepperoni. So now I'm gonna have some hot dogs. Now I'm full back onto the meat, and I'm gonna have to work on weaning myself back off the meat again. But I'm with you. I like you can get the impossible meat like ground up or whatever and patty
mhm,
it your own burgers. And
season
I'm
it,
and
patty
I'm
it.
way into those things instead of actual meat now.
Yeah, I will much prefer just doing the impossible. Like you said, get the ground, patty it up yourself, season it, and so you can make it as thick as you want, thin as you want, and going at it like that. But I hot dogs, I'm cool on those. I do enjoy a beef, all beef sausage or something like that every once in a while. But the regular schmegular hot dogs. I actually had some beef brisket hot dogs a couple months ago. I saw them randomly in the store.
Uh-huh.
I got them. I was grilling out, and I got them, and I tried one, and I was like, "Oh, this is pretty good." Only ate one, but it was pretty good. I saw that report. It was like every time you eat a hot dog, you take it like was it like 35 minutes
I
off your
I
life?
died like a week ago.
Yeah, like 35 minutes off your life every hot dog you eat. I was like,
I
boy,
can't even begin to tell you how many hot dogs I've had in my life. But
like Joey
hot
Chestnut's in
dogs and
trouble.
mac and cheese. That's where it's at. That's if I could do if I had to do one every day of my life, maybe it's like hot dogs and mac and cheese.
Oh, I don't really like mac and cheese anymore.
Oh goodness.
Yeah,
Oh
I,
boy.
I I can make a hell of a mac and cheese too, but I won't even really eat a lot of it because I think it's just too much dairy for me now.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm we're all a little lactose intolerant, some more than others, but I just can't. It's too. I'm This word is so immature, but it's too icky. Like it makes me feel icky. So I'm definitely weaned off the mac and cheese.
Who we've stumbled down this hallway, so let's wrap it with if tomorrow was your day, what's your final meal if you could plan it out?
I thought about this
We
already.
th- we think about things like this.
Yeah,
It's okay.
I want a filet mignon, medium. I want some fried chicken. I want some garlic mashed potatoes, some crispy Brussels sprouts,
I like crispy. I like
crispy.
crispy.
Yeah,
Yes.
crispy Brussels sprouts, tossed in a little balsamic and honey. You got to toss them in that. Uh, and I want it was another vegetable I want. Oh, I want some sweet potato casserole,
Mm.
and then for dessert, I want a big ass piece of carrot cake. I love carrot cake.
I love a good piece of carrot cake too.
Yeah, that'll be it. I'll go full and happy. What about you?
I like that. Well, I'm not moving off the hot dog. I gotta have at least one hot dog on the plate. What's funny is since I switched meat, the meat really doesn't even bother me. I'd probably have a load of sides. I really
Mm,
like some. I like black eyed peas over cornbread with a lot of
mm.
hot sauce. I do that. Have to have the mac and cheese. My wife actually started doing those roasted sprouts with a little bit of bacon on them. I love that.
Oh yeah.
And I'd probably like a good loaded omelet. I'm a huge breakfast guy, so maybe if I didn't have the omelet, I'd have like some sausage gravy over biscuits.
Mm.
I love a good sausage gravy over biscuits. And then for dessert, when we were living down in Georgia, the lady next door, she wouldn't give it up until we moved. But when we moved, she gave my wife a sweet potato pie recipe that once you have it, you realize why you won't give the recipe up because everybody wants the recipe. And then they start bringing it to family functions like, yo, that was the thing I brought that nobody else brought. So that sweet potato pie is it. Yeah, I'm a soul food guy. So any of that and all of that would make me real happy. There would have a day that I would have said, ribs and barbecue. And maybe I still could have like a half rack on there, baby back style, but I do all the sides, all of them.
Yeah, no, I like sides as well. Because I like you, I didn't eat meat for a couple years, and so I got into sides heavy, but once I got back on the meat, it's just something. I think I watch too much Master Chef now, so steak is just like embedded in my brain because they're
Yeah.
always cooking steak on Master Chef. So I had to have that.
Uh, were you disappointed that the young girl didn't make it over the experienced lady on MasterChef? Are you caught up on MasterChef? Did I spoil something for you there?
Yeah, but no. What season are they on? I'm on like season 11. Are they on 11? When they
Oh
just
no,
did the
we're way
15?
yeah,
What season?
yeah. We're way okay. Yeah, no, I'm talking about this with her. Yeah, you're like 3 or 4 behind then.
Oh yeah, I don't know why I just decided to. Me and my wife was in here, and I was like, I just want to let me see this because I didn't even get on the Hell's Kitchen until like the pandemic.
Oh, okay.
I had never watched Hell's Kitchen, and so we started a couple seasons behind, and then we came all the way to the current season. Um, I mean, we're like 2 episodes behind now, but then I was like, I need more Gordon Ramsay. So I went to Master Chef, and then I realized it was like home cooks. So I was like, ooh, this is where I really want to be. And so we started at like season 8, I think.
Okay.
And now we're on season 11. Because listen, y'all hear it here first, people. Y'all heard it here first. In a couple years, once I really slow down in this music game, if Master Chef is still going, I'm trying to compete.
All right.
I'm going on there. I just got to take a little time to practice. Work on some techniques.
Get your mise en place down.
Yeah, get my stuff together, get my basics together, and then I'm going for it. I'm going on Master Chef. Like I want to compete. I want to do it.
Random facts you didn't know. My cousin, well, my wife's cousin, but my cousin too, did the applied and tried out for Master Chef like I don't know 7 years ago. He got all into the home cooking, got all his nice stuff together and did it. And he made it to the final round before the show aired.
Wow.
But here's the thing you don't think about, and Ian, if you're listening, don't take this the wrong way, but his personality wasn't enough to get on TV.
Oh yeah, you got to have.
You got
That's
it's a
definitely part
TV
of it.
show after all, and you got to show up. Not all of them have it, but you got to if you don't have like the TV chops, then you just got to be really good in that kitchen. And he's even better now because, like I said, it was 5 or 6 years ago. But yeah, he tried out, did quite well. He's a good chef. So all right, there you go. Big Pooh Master Chef, circa
It's coming.
2026.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
All
I'm putting it
right.
in the air. It's coming. The
Who was
TV thing would be no problem for me. I got that. I
yes,
got that for
that's right.
days. Yeah. So it's
That's right.
it's it's me brushing up on my cooking chops, but it's coming.
I get that. Yeah, we watch all of them here. Top Chef too, big fan of. So
Yeah, my wife is a huge Top Chef fan. That's her thing. It's Top Chef.
yeah, we watched all those.
Yeah.
If it's not football, my wife's kind of got to deal with me. I can watch all the football I want, and I sit down and watch like as many of these house shows as she can do and reality shows. So it's funny because they compete just like the football players do. You know what I mean? It's all a competition on these
Yeah,
reality shows.
I
I
don't
love
get
it.
into the Real Housewives of anybody. I
Yeah,
don't do the cooking shows. Like that's my wife and I. We found our niche. It's the cooking shows. Like,
yeah.
that's where we get busy at is the cooking shows.
Gordon's got a show on Nat Geo called Uncharted.
I haven't seen it yet, but I do know it's out there.
Yeah, it's pretty good. We watched it.
Okay.
It's not like Anthony Bourdain. It's not like he does go way out there and works into what they do. But that's the funny thing about Gordon, right? Because there's like 3 different versions of him. There's the Master Chef where he's trying to be very helpful. There's this Uncharted where he's very appreciative and really nice, throwing out the world's heaviest high fives. And then there's the Hell's Kitchen, where it's all bleeps and expletives. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would find that interesting with
You
Gordon.
donut. You be calling people donut like that's so
One of
good.
my favorite. Or idiot sandwich always is a nice one
Oh
too.
yeah, that's the one. You take the bread and put it around your head. You idiot sandwich. Yeah, for sure.
I love that one.
For sure.
Well, we also love football. We'll talk about it a little bit here. What's got you most excited for this season, Pooh?
Um, I think the thing that has me most excited for this season in general is I just love football, but for Washington specifically is just seeing how the offense looks. Will it be much improved? We all believe it's going to be improved, but how much? And then seeing if the defense can rise to be one of the top one or two defenses in the league. How much have they improved? Because a lot of people don't realize it because they were a top defense last year, but this is a very young defense. Like the best players on your defense have only been in the league for a few years, you know. So
Yeah.
Most of the stars on your defense are still working off their first contract, their rookie deal. So just seeing how the improvement more than anything, I'm just excited about the improvement. I'm excited that we finally have a team in Washington that we can be proud of on and off the field is looking like, not being the butt of jokes. So that's exciting. But I'm just happy for football to be back, man. And having fans in the stands to whatever capacity is whatever, but just having fans in the stands again, because it definitely changes the atmosphere in the vibe of a football game. You don't know how much you miss it till you don't have it. And I can only imagine for players what it feels like, just the energy in the stadium when you're walking out and whether it's home, all them people cheering for you or away, all them people rooting against you, just the noise, the energy, the electricity in the stadiums. So I'm just looking forward to it all, man. I'm ready. I recorded it last night because I was working, but I just wanted to see. I already know who won, but I just wanted to see football that counted, and I was excited to see Ohio State and Minnesota. I heard it was a good game. I saw like the first quarter and a half, and so I'm just excited, man. I'm really looking forward
There's
to
another big one tonight too when UNC plays Virginia Tech, which ought to be a good game.
Oh yeah, that is tonight.
And
So
Clemson, Georgia tomorrow night. Football's back, baby.
listen, that Clemson, Georgia, I know that's going to be they're playing that in Charlotte, aren't they?
Yeah, yes. I think you're right. The stadium.
Yeah, because
I don't think it's Atlanta. I think it is. You're right. At the Belt Stadium or Bowl Stadium, whatever it is.
Bank of America Stadium, I think it is. Because they just the ECU played there last night. Funny enough, like they played there. And I know that field is going to be tore up. But I'm just looking forward to football being back on. The thing about summertime is like you have the dog days of summer, as they call it, but the lull is like if you're not a huge baseball fan, like after the NBA finals, this is like the worst time of year for a sports fan. So just happy to have it back, and looking forward to, like I said, the Washington football team, just seeing the progression in the team and how far they've come.
The Athletic, and I feel bad that I don't have his name right offhand. Standing had reposted it, and I looked through it, but he ranked the NFC and had Cowboys at 7, Washington at 16, and then like the Giants were second to third to last, or the Eagles were third to last. The two of them were like finished out the bottom for the division. I had said that it made more sense to me to flip Dallas and Washington. I can't see how Dallas, and not even being a homer, is 5 or 6, 7 slots better than Washington. I have a hard time seeing that.
I know why. They're looking at Washington's schedule, and they're rating it according to the schedule, where while Dallas has the better quarterback, or considered the better quarterback, I think Washington has the better overall team, but Washington also has that first place schedule this year.
Yeah.
But the thing about the schedules is that this isn't you're not playing every year. Teams are different. They can have the same group of guys for the most part, but it's a different team. So you're not playing the 2019, 2020 Tampa Bay Bucks or the 2019, 2020 Buffalo Bills. You're playing the 2020, 2021. You're playing the 2021 version of these teams, and we have no idea what any of these teams are going to be when the action gets real. So I think that's a little bit of schedule, because there's no way, even if you have Dallas ranked above Washington, they're not that many spots above Washington. Like,
Yeah.
there's no way.
It had the likes of the Vikings were in between there. Cardinals were, and I'm not sold on the Cardinals. Are you? You sold on Cardinals being a better team than the Washington football team?
I'm not sold on the Cardinals. I'm definitely not sold on the Vikings being better than Washington football team. There's no way in this world or the next.
I think Raiders were listed above Washington. Oh, no, that's AFC, so it couldn't have been Raiders. Yeah. But
listen,
to your point, like the guy for Buffalo, John Allen, he did it last year. He's got to do it again.
Yeah, he got to do it again. Tampa Bay, Green Bay. Yeah. Like,
I mean, that's the right.
Yeah, I'm thinking like Tampa Bay, Green Bay,
Kansas City.
We're just talking about the NFC. We're just talking about the NFC.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
So Kansas City, Green Bay, I can see those two. That's 1 and 2 in my eyes.
Yeah, Seattle and the 49ers can have some. The Rams can get some.
I'm not even putting – I don't even rank – I'll put the Rams up there. I'll put Seattle up there because you can never count out Russell Wilson. But that's it. Like, I'm not putting what was the other team you just said?
49ers.
I'm not sold on them. I'm not sold on Jimmy Garoppolo. If Trey Lance plays major minutes, he's going to take more than his fair share of lumps. He's a rookie quarterback. So even if you put them up there, so if that's your top 6, like, even if you have Dallas at 7, Washington got to be 8. Like, they got to be
8. That's what I was thinking when I read it earlier. I was really stunned. Like, those 3 NFC West teams can have some, I guess. If you want to put them above us, that's fine. Obviously, I'm with you on Tampa Bay and Green Bay. I don't think the Vikings are better than this current Washington football team. Certainly don't think the Bears are. I think they had the Saints were another team that they had listed above the Washington football team. You got to show me. You got to show me.
You got to show me.
No Michael Thomas.
No Michael Thomas. No Drew Brees. You got to show me. Like, your defense is still putrid. You got to show me. And that's the thing, is like, I think people are still with Washington. It's like they were in the division, was just bad last year. So, you know, they're discounting what they did because the division was so bad. And part of that I get, but part of it I don't. Because I'm like, if you just stack up what they have versus what other teams have, there's no way they're 16. There's no way. The Vikings belong down there with the Giants.
I don't like that Vikings roster at all. I mean, they got a couple of wide receivers and a tight end. I couldn't even begin to tell you anybody else on the roster.
Look, Kirk Cousins, not good. He doesn't show up in big games. They have a Dalvin Cook, awesome when he's healthy. Who's their number 1 wide receiver? The rookie. I mean, not the rookie, the second-year guy.
They got the Justin Jefferson and
Justin Jefferson and Thielen. They're good. That's all they got. That's all they have.
It seems like, yeah. And with just a decent offensive line, so you're really putting a lot of work on Kirk Cousins if you like the Vikings.
I think the problem in Washington, along with the stuff I stated earlier, is everybody, because if you read everything about Washington up until training camp started, everybody's big complaint with Washington was that Washington didn't go get a quarterback in the draft. They don't have a quote unquote quarterback of the future. And it's like, understandable, but you're talking about rookies. So if you're going to take a team and you're going to punish them because they went and got a veteran versus going to get a rookie to lead their team, you're crazy. Like
Yeah.
all five of them guys that got drafted, I wish them much success. I wish them well. There's a great chance that all five of them aren't going to pan out. Like you're going to have
history
one.
says five,
Yeah, history says all five will not be successful. You're going to have one, possibly two, the slimmest of margins for three, but all five will not be successful. If all five are successful, awesome. But somebody's going to falter. So that's the thing. Is like Ron decided to build his team the other way. I'll build the team, and then we'll worry about finding a quarterback of the future later, because we have all these other pieces in place.
And he said that this week.
He's been saying it. Yeah, he's been saying it. He's been saying it since the draft. So I think people are punishing them because they have the journeyman veteran quarterback and the still really unknown, Taylor Heineke, versus really looking at the roster that they've put around Fitzpatrick, the weapons they put around him. Like that offensive line is going to be awesome. Like it's going to be one of the best in the league again. The running back, his second year playing running back full time. He's going to be, he would have been 1,000-yard double-digit touchdown score last year if he wouldn't have got that turf toe. He was on his way.
Yes.
With a putrid offense. Like he was the offense. So you have all these different things, and I'm just looking forward to them showing that they are better than what people probably expect them to be. I saw something the other day where it says Saquon Barkley's return could be the reason why the Giants win the division. I'm like, which division? What division are we talking about? Like, have you seen Daniel Jones play? Like,
the line is terrible.
I was like, have you seen that offensive line play?
Hey, can I tell you, that surprises me. I'm a big UGA fan, but the fact that Andrew Thomas looks so terrible on the left side of that New York line surprised me, because he was excellent at Georgia, but he's been awful up there. Awful.
They can't get the tackles right in New York. Every time they draft a tackle, it doesn't pan out for them. And I don't know if that's an offensive line coaching thing, or I don't know what it is, but whenever they draft a tackle high, it's rare that tackle pans out. So it's going to be interesting, man. We're arguing about what's on paper. I just can't wait for the games to start, so we don't have to argue about what's on paper anymore. We'll actually get to see it in action.
Me too, Coop. And look, we can look ahead just a little bit, but let's go ahead and we'll be getting to it more next week, obviously. But this week one against the Chargers, interesting game at home. There are a couple players on these teams that, to me, will always be linked together, at least in my mind. That Chargers team, Washington took Daron Payne, and a lot of the fan base wanted them to take Derwin James, who ended up going to the Chargers. And we can argue back and forth. Daron Payne's been very healthy, and Derwin hasn't. You can argue the importance of the position all day you want, but to me, the two of them will always be linked together. Same thing with Chase Young and the quarterback.
Absolutely.
They could have had the quarterback there. They went Chase Young. Again, I'm not arguing which is more important. I think we know the answer to that one, but I don't fault them for taking Chase Young at all. But fact of the matter is, you could have had Justin Herbert, and if he becomes something phenomenal, to me, the two of them will always be linked. So there's a couple of things that are at play in this game that I find really interesting. I think it's Chargers giving a 1.5, slight underdog, the home team. Surprised by that?
No, I'm not. I mean, they ranked Washington 16th in the NFC. So no, I definitely agree with you about, it's definitely an interesting game because those players will always be linked throughout their careers. And I just think that came down to how you wanted to build your team. Washington started building their teams from the inside out, starting with the line and then working their way backwards. And, the Chargers didn't. They went and got the, do-it-all safety who's when healthy, one of the best safeties in the game, and they went and got the young quarterback. can't fault them for that. Just like I can't fault Washington for getting a dominating defensive tackle and potentially all-world defensive end. I think that just came down to how you wanted to build your team. But as far as the point, Chargers at home, they weren't going to be an underdog at home. They
No,
weren't.
we're at home.
No,
Yeah,
we're at home.
we're-
Oh, yeah. Okay, so now I'm surprised.
No, yeah, we're the home team.
I thought we was playing in. I thought we was playing in LA. Yeah. Okay, so I'm surprised a little bit. That's interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I haven't really looked into the Chargers yet to exactly
Yeah.
see how they built out their roster this offseason, but they do have a new coach. They got the young guy that was the defensive coordinator in LA last year, right? Yeah.
Correct.
So we don't know what this is going to look like.
That's right.
So that's the interesting thing here. Like, we know what a Ron Rivera team is going to be. They're going to be disciplined. They're going to play hard. They're never going to give up. We don't know what a Staley team is going to look like.
Yeah.
So I think
That's
that's going
from that
to.
McVay tree, so you kind of got an idea. But you're right. You don't know until they're out there.
Yeah, you don't know. If he was an offensive coordinator coming from McVay, I'd be like, okay, he's a defensive guy coming from
That's
McVay.
true.
We don't know what that's going to look like. Like, we have no idea. So it's going to be interesting. I definitely wouldn't have Washington as dogs at home, like against a rookie head coach, a second-year quarterback with that defense. I wouldn't have them as dogs at home. I might have to go put some money down on this.
Last time I checked, the team was only favored like 3 times this year. Now there's a ton of these games where it's all within a point or two,
But still,
but
they're
it's
dogs.
wild. They're not favored in many.
I think that's going
I
to
think
start.
they like being underdogs.
Yeah, I think if they come out and start wrecking shop early, a lot of that's going to end up changing by the time they get to it. But it's going to be interesting. Let me ask you this: for game 1, what are your expectations of? We know it's not going to be a well-oiled machine yet, but what would you like to see? Game 1, other than a win. We all want to see a win, but what are the things you're going to be looking for specifically in that game?
Aggression. I mean, I want to see him come out, play action, first play of the game, go deep. Maybe the second play of the game, go deep.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I really want this year for it to look like they understand what it takes. I want them to look at the Bills and the Chiefs and teams that have switched and said, no, it's more important to put up points.
Mm-hmm.
We'll worry about getting back the points that we give up if we make mistakes, but we're going out to get points. I want to see the defense play with a 10-point lead for once. That's what I want. I want them to come out and be aggressive. If they come out of the tunnel and go play one, run play up the gut, I'm gonna be disappointed. You know what I mean? Like,
what if they go
I
one?
waited too long for football, Pooh, to see a gut dive run play one.
What if they go dive, play one? Nah. Yeah. I'm with you. I would go play action, play one, and go for it all. Like, I'm running Terry down one side. If Samuel's in, I'm running him down the other side, and I'm putting
all the craziness. Everybody in motion. I want to see all the craziness on the first play.
I'm sending somebody on the deep post. I'm going balls to the wall on play one. I'm with you, just to let other teams. This isn't even about the Chargers. This is about letting the league know, put them on notice.
That's right.
We're going for it.
And the team. I want the team to know we're going for it. Like, we believe in you guys, and we don't want to score 20 points a game this year.
Right. We
want 30. 30.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
I
did not wait a full off season, Pooh, to watch a whole bunch of running plays in the first drive. No.
You got all game to run the dive. Give me.
That's right. I don't want none of them. Listen, and I think we are going to see a bunch of that, to be honest, Pooh, because what Scott Turner does, they look at the numbers. He's more analytically led than Ron is. I think that's part of why he's here, because Ron knows that, and they know that throwing the ball on first down is better money than running it. It just is. The numbers show that they've been charting this for several years now. And the good offenses throw the ball on first down. So I want that. Tons of motion. You know, I want the offense to look a whole lot like it did in that Tampa Bay game. He
Yeah,
could be innovative with the weapons we have. We didn't go out and get all these weapons again to just run. People have been telling us that. The fan base has been thinking run heavy. I don't think so. I don't think they didn't bring in Fitzpatrick. They could have gone run heavy with Allen or Heineke.
I'm all for every first play of every game this season running something that you wouldn't think a team would run on the first play. I'm all for my first play of my first offensive possession running a reverse, running, you know, a play action and throwing it deep, running a flea flicker. Like I'm all for something razzle dazzle on play one, because I just believe that just sets the tone. And like you said, that's that aggression. It's going to set the tone. It's going to, like, you don't know what to expect if a team comes out and runs a flea flicker on play one. Like, what? Like, are we serious? This is what we're doing?
That's right. I want to lead the league in going for it on fourth down.
I think you're going to see that.
Aggression.
I know Ron put his faith in Hopkins, but this is more like one of them, the devil you know versus the devil you don't things with kickers. Is like,
I totally agree with you.
You don't know what you're going to get if you bring another kicker in, unless, you know, it's a Vinatieri. I mean, I know he's retired, but unless it's somebody of that ilk, you really don't know what you're going to get in the kicker. So I think we're going to see if we're on that. If we're on the other side of the 40, the opponent's 40, and it's less than 5 yards, maybe 2-3 yards, I believe we're going to see Ron do more. We're going to see Riverboat Ron. He's going to be back. I think Riverboat Ron is back. Because when you have the type of defense that they have, you have to be aggressive on offense. You have to be.
Correct.
You have to be. And if you don't, you're wasting some of what you have on that side of the ball. You're wasting
is the exact word that came to my mind when you said that. I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah. So I'm definitely with you on that. On that. I think they're going to be aggressive. Like you said, I don't think they went and got all them weapons to, you know, turn into, you know, no disrespect, but turn into the Ravens. Like because listen, this was part of when we was talking about when your brother was on, when we was talking about the whole Cam Newton thing. If they wanted to be a running team,
could have done it.
They could have got Cam. If that's what they wanted to be, that's who you go get.
Or they could have drafted Fields. Yeah.
You don't go get. They went and specifically targeted Fitzpatrick because they know he's going to press it downfield. Yep. He's going to spread it around. He's not going to dink and dunk. So McKissick not going to have all them catches this year. That's not happening.
I don't think so.
Fitzpatrick is going to take some chances. I believe Terry McLaurin said it was like Fitzpatrick has trust in his receivers. So he's going to put the ball in some positions to give you a chance to go get it, to go fight for it. And I believe that's what they're going to do. Like, you don't go get Fitzpatrick unless you know that's what you want to do.
And try to get Stafford too.
Right. Big arm Stafford. That's why I have the Rams as a higher team, you know, up there in that top 5, because we're going to see how we want the Washington football team to play. That's how the Rams are going to play, because now McVay has a quarterback that he trusts. We already know they have the offensive ingenuity, but that's going to make their defense even better because they're going to be playing more with leads than they're going to be playing coming from behind, which means now you got to contend with, you got a shutdown corner in Jalen Ramsey. You have all-world Aaron Donald wrecking everything in the middle.
Yep.
He's going to make them defensive ends better. So, yeah, I think the way the Rams are going to play this year, I think the Rams in Washington are going to mirror each other in styles, not necessarily the offenses they run, none of that, but in style. they're going to mirror each other. I definitely believe that's what's going to happen.
It's interesting. I was thinking about this also, Pooh, getting ready for the show today. It seems to me as important as the game one is to get out the blocks good. Game two is on a Thursday night in New York, and New York's had our number for years now. I don't even know how, but they have. That game to me is really important.
It's important for multiple reasons. It's important, one, because most of their division games are on the back end of the schedule, at the end of the schedule. Like you said, it sets a tone because we can't beat New York for some odd reason. We have all the difficulties with New York, and it's prime time. It's a prime time game, and we all know the Washington football team don't fare very well on prime time. It's not where we shine at in prime time.
Certainly not under Jay and Shanny.
No. We were horrible. I sighed every time I saw a primetime game. So it's going to be very important. And then, it's going to be important just because you want to win a division. So you need these games. You need every game, but you need them division games. If Washington doesn't sweep the Giants and sweep Philly, I'm going to have a problem. Like that's going to disturb me. I don't see them sweeping Dallas. I see that being a split, but they should definitely sweep Philly, and they should, after watching preseason Giants, they should sweep Giants, man. That defensive line should versus that offensive line, like,
yes,
it should be sack fest. Everybody should get in on the party. It should be a meeting at the quarterback every play. But that second game is going to be very crucial. I think the first 4 games is going to be crucial to their season. I don't have the schedule up, so I don't know who they have weeks 3 and 4, but I think that's going to be very important to their season. That first them first 4 games. I think if they come out of that 3-1, we're looking great. If they come out of that 2-2, we haven't quite greased the wheels yet. If we come out of thinking anything less than 2-2, it's gonna be some trouble. It's gonna be some problems, major problems, and that means we're gonna have a lot more Fitztragic than Fitzmagic as well. So,
no, we don't want that.
No, nobody wants that. So it's gonna be interesting, man. I think this thing can go so many different ways, and it could turn so many different corners. But yeah, them first 4 games are gonna be very important to how this season is gonna play out. Very important. Schedule too tough to play that. Wait to the second half of the season and try to get it right for the game. Like it's because I can. That Kansas City, I think we play in Kansas City. That's gonna be a loss. Not that I don't have faith in my team, but that's gonna be a loss. Like I think Mahomes, he's coming out with a vengeance this year. He didn't go out the way I think he wanted to go out last year with his line. They rebuilt their whole line. Like, when the last time you seen that? Like, they rebuilt the whole line. Tampa Bay, depending on where we catch them, once again, I don't know when we play them in the season, but if we catch them in the first half, I think we can get them. Tom Brady really don't get warmed up to the second half of the year.
It feels like that tough stretch is right in the middle of the season with Mahomes, Rodgers, Allen, and Brady, like all back to back to back.
That Green Bay game gonna be a shootout because Joe Barry is the defensive coordinator in Green Bay.
Trash.
And we all know how that turned out here. We all know how that turned out everywhere. He's been defensive coordinator. So
I didn't even think about that. He's going to get reunited with Preston Smith up there in the Great North.
Like, how does he keep getting defensive coordinator jobs?
I don't know.
Like,
I don't have any idea.
This is insane. Like, he was horrible here. Now that stretch is gonna be a doozy. Yeah, that's gonna be a doozy. You're facing three of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league in the stretch. But hey, It's the schedule.
I was
Nah.
just saying, and ain't no complaint about it. He's got to go
Yeah,
out there and do it. And I really think, Pooh, wrap up like this. It to me, it's the greatest roster they've had in 20 years.
easily.
The roster there in 2016 was nice. They had weapons. And if Jordan Reed had stayed healthy, they'd have been really good, but the defense was trash.
Right.
I mean, to me, this is one of the most complete rosters. Take out the quarterback, if you will, and you know how I feel about the quarterback. But everything else is really, really young and exciting, fast, got speed all over the place. And we know the defense is loaded. So next week we got a little bit of time. We'll do our predictions next week on the Friday show. But you got anything else?
Nah, I'm excited, man. I'm glad we have all this great college football this weekend because I'm fiending for some real football. And so thank you, college, for always coming a week early to satisfy that hunger for more. But I'm excited, man. I'm glad football is back. The great people that enjoy the Big Douglas pod, you're gonna see me more. We're back. It's gonna be exciting.
And to that point, we'll do Monday. Just a heads up, we'll do Monday reaction shows.
Yep.
We'll have on Wednesdays, we'll have the opposition Wednesday. We'll have somebody covering the other team on, and then on Friday we'll get the local guys in to give us all the latest and greatest. So
yes,
no doubt,
indeed.
Big Booth, great things happening. Glad to have you back on the regular. You know, you had to take a little time to take care of things, and it's football season.
It's football season. Let's go WFT.
And on that, we're out.